All right, welcome. So today on this show, we have a very, very big man. I call him big man because when you hear what he has been doing, you will agree with me. So today we have, on this show, we have Yinka Olagbemiro, and I'll let him introduce himself, but I'll tell you a little bit about him. So me and Yinka were classmates all the way back in the Air Force Military School in Jos, where we were both junior airmen enlisted in the Nigerian Air Force. That's a story for another day. But Yinka was part of the school football team. And interestingly, the very first coach we had in that school was Yinka's dad, who we called fondly Coach Olagbemiro. And today, Yinka actually is also referred to as Coach Olagbemiro. He's going to tell you more about that. And actually, Yinka has basically embarked on that journey. So I want to talk to him today about that whole journey so far, what inspired him, what got him this far, and where he sees the future of youth sports development. So Yinka, you're welcome to the show, and I'd like for you to introduce yourself fully so that the audience will understand who is talking to them.
Yes, well, as I said, you have almost said it all. But again, I'll just look at my football aspect. I attended the Air Force Military School. Yes, I'll look at it that it helped my grassroots football development, because at the Air Force Military School, the school team was like a football academy, because we train in the morning, we train in the evening, and we played matches, and we were properly kitted. I mean, we remember the late NFA chairman, group captain Ikazowo. We remember him, and he was very passionate about football. He was the Minister of Sport. So at that level, we were playing top youth football. And the school team was, you would desire to be part of the Air Force Military School team, because at that level, we were kitted, we were even given balanced diet. That means we had two sessions of eating meals. We had our dining hall food. We had the balanced diet when they say all footballers go to dining hall. And I mean, I was my school team from two. I think I was just about, I started playing for the school team maybe at about 12 years old. I mean, I commanded the midfield, and that's what you call what we are doing today as under 13, under 10. So I was in an academy in my school, and I started playing for my school team at the age of 12. We also went further to win the All Plateau State football principal cup. Then we represented Plateau State at the Plateau Academicals. So you could see that that's a proper grassroots development, because I went further to win the FA Cup with Plateau United. So you look at it that there's development without us developing properly at the military school, going to training morning and evening, and it didn't affect our academics. So, and we are taking care of properly. I mean, kit-wise, training-wise, exposure-wise, we played matches. So, I mean, it helped my football development, my football career. And the truth is that if I didn't have that opportunity at the military school, how will I win the FA Cup? I mean, FA Cup is the Challenge Cup in Nigeria, and I went with Plateau United, one of the biggest clubs in Nigeria. So you look at it that school football or school sports, it is very, very important to the developmental of a child, of a youth. You cannot negotiate it. You cannot build the four walls of school and you call it full education. It is not. It has to come with education. And look at it now. People are winning scholarship, getting education scholarship, football scholarship. And that's also added my football administrative status, because I played football to the highest level. I'm a member of the Nigerian Football Technical Committee. I decided to form the Youth Arise Football Academy because I saw a need to develop a footballer wholly, not only football was education, character molding, mindset development, mental energy, believe in his ability and in his dream, and also creating a proper pathway for kids and youth football. That's why at Youth Alliance Football Academy, we have youth players in Portugal, in Europe, in the Arab, at 16, 17 years. They're also following the pathway of development. Yeah. So that's what made it possible. My development played a large role in who I am today.
All right. Thank you very much for that. You've actually talked a lot about some of the things that I would like to take a deeper dive into. So, if I get you right, you are actually saying that right from AFMS, which we fondly call the Air Force Military School in Jos, right from the AFMS school team where you joined at the age of 12, you played all the way till the point where AFMS has a team won the state championship. Is that correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes.
Oh, and then from there, you said you moved on to a proper football club, national football club. That's Plateau,
United.
Plateau United. All right.
Yes.
So you actually took a career a bit, at least for a bit. Is that
yes,
semi-professional or fully
absolutely. Yes. Because of the level of my development at the military school, I also went to I played for my University of Jos, the Nuga Games.
Okay.
Yes, in fact, I was a star at the University of Jos.
Wow.
People wondered, what are you doing in school? But that question comes on board because of my development at the Air Force Military School. Because after secondary school is university. So how come I could play good football, even at the university level? So how come people used to come and watch me? Because so it still goes back to the development at the Air Force Military School. That's what you call grassroots football development today. Now, one of the things missing in Nigerian football is this same grassroots development. Schools have neglected football, proper football development. They've neglected sports. You see, all over the country, they just build 4 walls of a high-rise building and call it a secondary school. There's no football field. There's no proper education for sports. So, but in our own time, we were trained and intentional development. It was intentional because we were children. But again, they created a pathway for us. There's a football field, there's a school bus that take you to matches, there's a school coach. So, and the organized matches, we played inter secondary school matches. I remember, even at my primary school, we played primary school matches. So school and sports, you cannot remove it. It's not possible.
So it sounds like, because I remember that when we were younger, a lot of parents then used to make it, they used to make it feel like you could not have both together, that you could not basically play serious football and also have very good academics. What do you have to say about this? Did anybody's results get impacted by the fact that you were going through this football development?
Now, I look at it that Nigeria, when we lack information, the developed countries have been getting scholarships in basketball, in football, in lawn tennis, because they believe in talent. And they believe that your education and your talents will enhance your standard of living and your community. And so if you look at it from a football example, from a football academy, there's a girl that won a scholarship of 40 million naira to go to Brookhouse Football Academy, England. And she was just going to 18, and she went to an advanced level, and she got 6 distinctions. And she was also invited for trials. And this girl was not supervised. She just left Nigeria alone. I only took her to the airport.
6 distinctions while playing football.
Yes, 6. Yes, and at the Brookhouse Football Academy, England. Because the school wrote a letter to me. So when we look at it, so you just say sport enhances your intelligence. Because I also played football. I won the FA Cup. I'm an economist. I have my BSc in economics. I have an MBA. I have a certification in different administrative courses. So what am I saying? Football and sports make you sharper, smarter, because we know in football, your decision making is very, very important. You're receiving the ball, you're taking a decision to pass the ball. So your brain is always working. So, I mean, then it keeps you, why do we saying we want to really, really move sports? It keeps you out of poor behavior. It molds your character because your energy, your negative energy, you convert it to positivity and you move it to the field. So that's why sports is an important factor for youth development. And football, because football is being loved by every child, girls and boys. Now, recently, you have girls liking football at my academy. It was a girl that won that scholarship at my academy. You have parents have moved to the next level. They take female football seriously. If you come to my academy, you see 8-year-old girls, 4-year-old girls. They're already developing. So we have moved from the cultural stage of a lot of rules. We have moved past that one, because what a man can do, the women are also doing it well, and they get opportunity for better life. Yeah, because it is very important, and the physical attribute. So it will be an error, a huge error, for a school not to include sporting infrastructure, sporting education into its curriculum, because the world has moved past all education.
Thank you very much for that. That's very interesting. From what I'm getting from what you're saying, the football actually enhances the whole education, makes the child smarter, makes the child have better mental clearness, mental alertness, and develops the brain better. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. I caught in one. There's a parent that brought his son to my academy, and he said he wants to thank me. I said, why? He said, no, it's not, because since the boy joined my academy, he started leading in his class. But understood what happened. What happened was that he developed confidence to answer the exam questions. He lacked confidence. He was intelligent, but coupled with coming to the field to interact with his mates and demand for the ball, give me the ball, pass the ball. He started becoming outspoken. Then the boldness, the courage improved. Then he now took that what he has learned on the field into his academics, and he converted that decision taking, because it's a decision. He took it into positivity, and he took it into academics, and suddenly he was leading his class. But it was not magic. It was the football development that brought it, and all that. So that's it.
So what would you say? Now you, if I remember, you said that you are now part of the NFF. That's the Nigerian Football Federation. Is that correct? NFF.
Absolutely.
Technical,
the technical committee. Yes.
Technical committee. What is the function of that actually? What does that do? What does the technical committee do in Nigerian football?
Well, the technical committee checks and appoint coaches for the Nigerian populace, or the federation and the association, or recommends coaches, and also check the level of technical development. Is actually the technical and development committee.
Okay.
So
is that football for the team or for the nation?
No, for the nation, and for the national team. Then also opportunity to also look for youth talents around the country and recommend them still. If you see a talented player, and set up a structure of proper football structure in the country by checking, looking for youths that are talented, and recommending players that are also skilled, both at the national level and at the youth level.
All right. So I just wanted to find out, I haven't been following the Nigerian grassroots football for a while, but these competitions that secondary schools used to have, do they still exist now? And then how active are they?
Well, that's where we're missing it. And I spoke the other day that until we go back to secondary school football, that's when we're doing the proper grassroots football development, because you have to go back, because that's where you go. They're schooling and playing football. We only have the time. They're just children. But if you match education and football in schools, they want to compete. They want to play for their school team. Just like, as I told you, the Air Force Military School did. They converted that school team into an academy. Morning and evening we are training. And we are always in class. And as I also told you that they checked our diet. That's also part of football. Good food, good feeding, good diet. It's also part of football. And they also gave us good kits. There was balls for training. So when you look at it, that's what a structure that, as I say, I benefited from hugely. So now, as you're saying, it is missing in schools. Even in Lagos, I was on TV in Lagos, and the interviewer was telling that there are a lot of buildings, even in Lagos, they've converted most of the places you used to see as playing fields, just like all over the country. A lot of places that you could go and play have been converted to properties, just like when we were growing up. If you remember, there are a lot of fields everywhere. They will look for you at home. They will say, go to this field, go to this field, it's there. So there are so many fields, but now, where do you have to pay? Where do you have to play? And if you have to get a space to play, you will pay heavily. I mean, but if you go to Europe, you see a lot of fields, there's a place I went to in Denmark, I saw about 20 fields. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 playing fields around the locality, both astroturf, both grass. So you see the infrastructure, just like when we're in the military school, I keep on referring back to the military school, because you could see we have, there was the basketball, there was a squash court. I remember I played squash with the former head of state, even at my phone too. Yes, because I played squash also. You said?
Which head of state was that?
Okay, why am I asking? That former head of state, the former president, General Buhari. Yes, he comes to play squash from the Rukwa Barracks at the Air Force Military School. I mean, the squash at that time was standard. We had the basketball court, we had swimming lessons. You remember?
Yes.
We had there's a handball, there's a hockey. I mean, there's a badminton. I mean, there was even horse riding. That means we were complete sports people. I mean, I could remember it was a time that I did not go for training in the school team. I went to join the basketball team. As I was shooting a ball, the coach shouted, "Baby, no!" But again, we had so many sporting activity, and it was fun. I mean, we wake up, we sleep for siesta. The next thing we're doing is games, mandatory, is non-negotiable. It's an order. So, I mean, this is what we need to go back. If you look at the Olympics, the truth is that it's still the same development. Look at the Chinese people. After school, their kids go to swimming lessons all over the locality, the local government. So we must provide infrastructure for development. If I had not seen it, if I had not tested it, if I had not been part of it, I would say, I mean, it's doable, because even our athletics team was of top notch. I mean, good spike shoe, good this. So, I mean, we need to be deliberate and intentional about doing our sporting development at all levels. In fact, even at primary school level, because I remember my primary school, just my name on the board that I'm going for a football match. I mean, you think that I won the gold medal because it was a thing of joy. Just me entering the school bus, waving to my mates that we are going for a match. And you could see their eyes that, oh, I wish I could make this school team. That's at primary school level.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so we need to really, really take sports or football seriously, because it causes laziness. It causes physical laziness, mental laziness. Then it moves your character. It makes you tough in your decision making, because it prepares your mind and spirit. So, and we cannot take that away, and for you to go to a school, come back home, or not any form of challenge or anything that will challenge your spirit of being unified with your mates. So, I mean, it has a lot to do with sport. That's why I decided to form a structure of Youth Alliance Football Academy, where you have the under 10 years old, you have the under 13 years old, under 16 years old, under 17, under 18 years old. So if you look at it, I used my knowledge to within my own little world, to create a system where children can come to football camps. If you recently we had a football camp in Lagos, we're having it in Port Harcourt, we're having it in Jos. The Abuja finals will be next week in Abuja. So I mean, the kids have been engaged throughout this holiday. Imagine, and they're so happy. And each there's going to be a tournament in honor of my late father. I mean, the awards will be given. So and the children they're looking forward to this tournament. So if you can imagine that a lot of people are investing in sports, that you not see a lot of restlessness, you're seeing a lot of poor behavior, poor character from these youth, because they convert those energies into positivity. They'll convert it into winning attitudes. And they will convert it that, oh, look, I can be great. And the truth is that they also think of helping their communities. We have African players like Amane building secondary school, hospital, clinics, sporting infrastructure. So I mean, sports is a foreign exchange earner. It is a whole industry that we must not toy with. I mean, we have seen it. What sports, how it changes people. A sportsman can come. I said, okay, I've decided to sponsor 1,000 kids in this community. It does not move him because he understands where he came from. And if he does it, it's going to be a multiplier effect. The person he spends more, he will spend. So we need to start thinking at that level that when we invest in people, they will in turn back invest in other people. So that if we're saying that, except we do not believe that sports is a foreign exchange earner, there's a huge gap. Because sport people, they get endorsement. We know what a lot of them, companies are chasing them. And these monies are being brought to spend in the economy, build houses, buy cars, sponsor people. So you can imagine how many people that are in, that's why it is so sad that a lot of Africans are nationalizing to other countries. We saw it at the Olympics. It was very clear. So that should teach us a lesson that sports, because of sports, people are changing nationality. So we must go back to the drawing board.
Thank you very much. This is very deep indeed. And as you are saying this, I'm imagining that is it possible that a solution to the unrest we have with the youth, right? That if there was active sports established in those places, that they are less likely to have the energy to go and break something, or because young people have a lot of energy, and if they have to express that energy somewhere, and if they express it playing sports, then they are too tired to actually have the energy to go and do some damage somewhere, right? And so as you're seeing this, I begin to feel that wherever there's missing sports, or wherever sports has been deprioritized, you're going to have an increase in problems that the society has to deal with from the youth. So that's interesting.
Kyrie, I've said it all. I've said it all because if you remember at the beginning of this our presentation, I spoke about character molding, poor behavior. And I told you that sport is part and parcel of molding character. And you have said it, the unrest. It is poor behavior, lack of self-belief, lack of self-esteem. It is when these youths train, when you train and prepare for a laurel, those things are cut aside. When you train and your negativity is converted to positivity, unrest is set aside. Self-belief, self-worth comes into perspective. And it's rather unfortunate when you see, have you thought about it, that kids are protesting? How did they come to that level? Why can't we convert them into champions? If they can have the power and the knowledge of what the protest is, and they can push them to the street, why can't we as a nation push them into gyms, into sport hall, into football education, sports education, into partnership of how we can develop them, how we can mentor them, how we can send them abroad to go for camps, football camps, athletics camps. They'll come back and they can never be the same again. Or how we can also invest in sporting infrastructure, in our country. How can we do that? I mean, then we allow these children. The last time I saw them in mass, I looked at it. What if these children, one was playing, I mean, hundreds were playing football, 100 were playing basketball, 200 were playing hockey, one was playing squash, one was playing lawn tennis, one was doing throwing javelin, one was doing cross country. Remember in our school, we used to do cross country that even though we are footballers, you don't like to come last. you are not an athlete, but you want to compete because of the school is waiting for you at the entrance of the gate. So everybody's watching who will come last. And you run with your heart, even though your heart will fall off. Let it fall off. you get in the school among the first 50 because you know the numbers are huge. So you have to keep on running. It's called cross country. And we start from the school. There's a route we pass. We go and turn. And that's what called resilience, tenacity. But these youth don't have that. They don't want to win. The people are cajoling them, and it's so sad that they want them to lose their life. And when you say lose your life, you're not losing your life physically, losing your life spiritually, mentally. That has to do with a lot of self-worth. So if they are going to the street, let's say the truth, how many of them will come back? How many do you have the statistics that didn't come back? But if they're in the gym or they're training, they're going to school, after school, they go and play football, or they go and look at Toby, the Nigerian female athlete. After school, she goes to train. So you see the same development. We cannot throw it away. So now our youths are everywhere. It's hard. I mean, the truth is, what do you know about protest? What can't you teach them what they will benefit from tomorrow? So we must really, we should not, the truth is that can the government do it alone? We cannot leave the responsibility for the government. You cannot. Within our schools, private schools, public schools, opportunities within our area. And as I come back to, that's why I set the Youth Arise Football Academy up. That structure. Because the truth is that if you wait for government, it might be forever. I mean, the private enterprise should start looking at how they can support people. So that, because in the long run, it also help their business. Because if there's unrest, if there's security, the economy of the country will boom. I mean, sometimes they tag, if an investor wants to come to the country, they say they tag it as unsecure. Then what you lose the investor. So in the long run, sports will also cure unrest and also bring profit margin to the economy of Nigeria. Because I'll give an example. We bring scouts to the country to scout players. They will tell you their country, this is a fact, their country said they should not go to this region. This is a fact. They have the statistics, they have the analysis. They open their laptop, they will show you. And what there's a color marked unsafe. But again, you will not question them. And if they have said their country said they should not, their country people say they should not visit this region, and you decide to go there, you have yourself to blame. So they will rather obey their country than follow you. So again, we have lost a pool of talent in that region. So what am I saying? Even sports will help the unrest. Sports will bring money to the country, will bring investors to the country. The country will be calm. Because if you tell a citizen, a youth, 18, 15, 16, 17, follow me to go and cause problem, you say, no, I have training. That training is very, very important. It's a training that comes on unrest. Then after the training is the hope, the roadmap, the pathway. So there's a lot in this that that's why I said we must be intentional, deliberate. We must plan. And that's why we have to go back to the drawing board.
Thank you very much. This is really very enlightening, actually, because as you're saying it, I'm thinking some states, hopefully, maybe even at the local government area, at local government level, part of the solutions to a lot of the things they're experiencing seems to be tied to sports. So then I ask a question. So let's say somebody sees this interview now and decides, you know what, let's actively let's invest in sports development. and then they want to come to YAFA. Is that something that you as the president of YAFA can assist with? And then what's the process for that?
Absolutely. Coyote, as I said again, I like the question you asked about local government development. I will let you know that I've been to a local government. I've been to local government. Let me be precise about the local government. I went to Nasarawa, and I will let you know that I'll give you a short story. Now, I scouted 100 players within our locality. From 100 players, we converted them into a team of 30 players. Now, we started training them. I would share with you a character system that happened. Now, there's a boy that this from the parents. Now, the parents were saying they're happy the boy is playing football because as of the time, maybe before we came, if you want to ask for his food, you say, give me food. I'm hungry. But when he started training, then that attitude, I mean, because the negative energy is being put on the field. Yeah. And then as he's releasing the negative energy on the field is giving it positive energy. I'm sure you understand it. Yes. Now the boy goes home. He says, what did you cook? You have seen the language has changed. Yes. Before, give me food. Now he's saying, what did you cook? Now he's telling them that, can I have my food? Now they see that he goes out. He doesn't even disturb anybody in the house. He just carries his training kits. He goes out and he comes back. Even the immediate environment, they saw the change. And one good thing about that movement, about 2 or 3 years ago, there's a boy that went to Sweden for the Gocha Youth World Cup. I mean, the boy came back and was never the same. Already, he was an international player at 17. And what did he bring back? He brought back change to that environment because they were surprised. It's not this boy was seeing running with us. Look at him using cutlery, eating with the Europeans. It's not like it's not like a mirage. It's not like, yeah, but these things happen. Yes, sir. But if I did not go to that local government, if I had not structured, then show them a pathway, he can't fly to Sweden. You understand? Then how we parents also see a change that football can change even their son at home that had poor attitude, poor character is part of what we're saying about the youth development. But that football, and again, I mean, the community, if I'm telling you, the day I stayed in that town for about 2 or 3 days, the day we wanted to play a match, the roar of the football field, I think it was as big as the stadium, the roar in the stadium. When the goal was scored against the team, I mean, in the roar, you could hear emotion. It was not a normal roar. I mean, and there were a lot of activities on the field. People are selling, buying. People are happy. Imagine they were ringing a large bell that every footballer should go to the field, the match, and supporters should go. So I mean, that environment. I mean, at that small level, people are making money. Character was being molded. There was joy that, oh, there's a match going on. People are going to play match. And again, there's a boy that left for Europe. You can see just within that small angle. Yeah. What are we saying? Talk less of if you convert it. I'm telling you today, I will say it again. Nigeria should look for how they will do sports and education on the high level. We should start investing in sporting infrastructure. There's a place in Europe, 24 hours. They don't close their stadium. I mean, 24 hours. Yeah. Because why? You need to train. And let me tell you, when you train, when you go back home, you seal your mouth. What do you want to say? Because you're already tired. Yeah. You cannot even go for vices. You say, give me food, I want to sleep. So I think you must go back. That's one of the secrets of unrest I've spoken about, even how it can bring security to the country. And because we keep on saying the youths are leaders of tomorrow. But our leaders, as the youths, they should leave space for the youth to develop, to have different opportunities. I think we are too narrow-minded. Let's leave them to explore. I'm happy. Okay, what if look at what happened to music world in Nigeria? other place, IT, because people have IT, you see, because everybody has access to computer, to phones. You could do a little programming. You could see we are intelligent people. But what really needs that is physical, that we are talented in, we have removed it and put it to the back burner. If you remember, boxing, we used to win medals in boxing. Athletics, we used to win. So when you look at all those stuff, you understand? You have put it to the bank, and it is an important ingredient of our economy, of our livelihood, of the relationship between youths. You can imagine every youth playing sport. Do you think a youth, they are meeting, I mean, youth sports. It's not that they all have to be youth football. I mean, before you know, there'll be unity among the youth. They'll start looking of a way to forge forward and a way forward. So, I mean, if people in Nigeria today are ready to really invest in the youth, I think we will not see what we saw. That I will look at it as a sad vision. I mean, we all saw it. So, but we can convert that sad vision into a moment of joy by seeing instead of our boys running on the street of protest, they're running in Olympics. Yeah. So that's it. I think you are right. Government, private sector, individuals, people that are passionate about change. I'm a youth football advocate. I tell people, I'm proud to tell people that I'm in youth football for over 15 years. I'm a master of youth football. I will say it anywhere. I've taken Nigerian youth to win European Cup. I've taken them to win 2 cups in Europe, the Gotia World Cup, runner-up, the cup in Cup 1. So, I mean, I've won a youth cup as from 2 boy. So I've also won the FA Cup. You know, so I think we need to go back to the drawing board.
So thank you very much for this. So then one last question, actually. YAFA has opened its branches. When is YAFA going to become, or what's the strategy? Is YAFA going to be like a franchise that other people can come and take the YAFA franchise and go to their own regions and follow like your processes and have YAFA, or must YAFA be the one that opens all the branches? You know, what's the strategy for YAFA? Because it feels like YAFA is already a solution in the Nigerian missing piece of football development. So how can YAFA actually spread?
Okay, I like that question. You see, if you know the meaning of YAFA, is Youth Arise Football Academy. The youth, time for the youth to arise. The name is prophetic. YAFA is for Nigeria, but it was a structure put in place because if you notice, parents are involved in YAFA. You have the YAFA mom and you have the YAFA dad. It's a way of community living. It's a way
you're frozen.
YAFA is a way of life. That's why we involved the parents, the YAFA mom and the YAFA dad. And it's a way of community living. So the parents are engaged. The truth is that without parental involvement, no child can do sports. It has changed. I mean, the climate has changed. So we have deliberately, intentionally to involve parents in YAFA. That's why we named the YAFA dad, the YAFA mom. They all have their jerseys. They participate in all our activities, in our tournaments, in our matches. I mean, so now if we have done at that our level, we're inviting the community. So YAFA, anybody that wants to take YAFA to, I will remember somebody contacted me from US. It was amazing. He said, can we have YAFA US? But that's still holding, that is still there. I said, I'm not feeling Nigeria or Africa. And I also remember some African people have contacted me from African countries, from Tanzania, from Congo, from South Africa. They've asked about YAFA. They want to come down to Nigeria. Also, remember, somebody asked me, a 15-year-old boy, no, 12-year-old boy, he called me and he said, sir, when is YAFA having their common entrance? It was funny. but he was speaking, it was prophetic because it will happen. Yeah,
yes.
he was asking because the boy has seen the nationalistic approach of YAFA. That's why he asked, when is YAFA? But that day, I smiled. I told him soon. So back to your question, I think YAFA is up for partnership to entrench what we are preaching, character molding, because without proper character, you cannot succeed. We've seen players like international stars. I mean, even players that will make great name and great value to their community. Not only about them, but about their community. You see, because of proper character, people like their money, changing their community, in millions of dollars, putting hospital, education, medical, every aspect, IT. I mean, so if Mane had a poor character, how will he move forward? So character is very important. So that's why I'm molding character in YAFA. And that's why it's a national call. If you want to take YAFA to Sokoto, contact me. We'll set up the structure for you. How we want YAFA to be, that you cannot do it alone. You must involve family. Is YAFA dad, YAFA mom must be part of the structure. Then you support the less privileged. You support the rich and the poor come together and interact and become one. And also, you must make sure education is part of it. So it is holistic. YAFA is a way of life. And that's why we are calling the Nigerian citizens, both in Nigeria and abroad, let's use football and sport and also use the structure of YAFA, involving parents. Let's move the youth forward because Youth Arise Football Academy is YAFA.
Right. Thank you very much. This was an amazing conversation. And as you were talking, actually, I'm having more ideas of what we should talk about next when we're on this show. We should talk about, I think we should bring in a few entrepreneurs and talk about looking at what YAFA is and the buildup of the excitement that it creates amongst the Nigerians. How can we turn this into a money-making machine so that investors are interested in actually basically moving this forward? So it seems like we might have started a conversation around something that has been left on the side, but actually might be a major solution to youth unemployment, to youth development in Nigeria. So this, I want to thank you very much for coming on to this show. I want to thank you so much for talking and explaining a whole lot of in-depth and the importance of sports in the development of a child. The child is not fully developed except they've gone through a sporting education alongside. And as you're saying this, and the child that said common entrance, I started realizing, what if YAFA had a huge, so I've seen that there are private universities, there are private secondary schools. What if YAFA had a whole private institution where coaches can
no, sorry, that's the plan. That's the plan of YAFA. That's the plan, because YAFA is to have an institute where not only for Nigerian people but for African people to come and develop their mindset. Yes. So the dream is to have an institute. YAFA has to have an institute of mental development, character molding, and football and sports development. And both for Nigerians and African people as a whole.
Yep, and like you said, just I think I got the same idea as you were talking, right? It would be nice to have again, this is just me and my own entrepreneurial mind. YAFA is that place you travel to, and it's almost like a place where you travel to, you don't come back the same. When you leave, you're buying YAFA jerseys, you're buying, but it's also a place where when you're on vacation anywhere in Europe or the West and you're thinking of where do I go, you want to go to the YAFA campus where you can wake up, play a little bit of sports in the morning, eat with them, watch games, attend a couple of lessons, so that even the kids who are playing video games all over can come on a trip to YAFA Academy for their vacation, play a lot of sports. They just wake up, play sports, have something structured for the holidays, and then come back refreshed, you know. So I see how this actually can develop into something that everybody wants to be a part of. But thank you for coming on. This is the beginning of some great conversations to come. We'll bring some more people and then basically increase this conversation and see where we can drive it. Thank you. If you have any parting final words, I'll let you say that now.
Well, I want to let the youth don't give up. The Nigerian youth should not give up. Yes, they should keep on holding their heads up. That I'm an advocate of youth football development. We will not give up till we support the youth by the grace of God.
Thank you very much. All right. And for those who have heard this, make sure you subscribe and make sure that you come back because there will be more conversations. Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.